today's video is gonna be a first impression on some new goodies that I got sent from Makeup Forever. Makeup Forever, they sent me an entire bag here filled with some small goodies, as you can see, and all of these products are actually for the brows. They have created a totally brand new line of brow products, and I'm really excited about trying them out because if you know me, you know that I'm a brow girl. So right now I'm not wearing anything in my brows and they look bushy and they need help. I'm not wearing any mascara either because if I did wear mascara that would be so annoying for me because they're that long, so often they tend to irritate me when I'm applying my brow things. So that is why I look like a freaking freak. But isn't this bag the cutest? And it actually matches like my t-shirt and my nails. And they honestly sent me all of the different colors as well in different lines. That is crazy. Let's just try to go through each and individual product. So first up, we've got the Makeup Forever brow pencils, and these are called Precision Brow Sculptors. And I've got 5 of them, and the way that the shades are named is actually from 10 to 50, and obviously the number 10 is the lightest shade and the number 50 is the darkest shade. The one that I'm gonna be using today later on is gonna be the one called number 20 because I think it's a good middle shade for those of us who's got like that goldy blonde hair. The pencil looks like this. As you can see, it is a regular pencil that you have to sharpen. It seems to be not too pigmented. Some of these can be that pigmented and that pencil-ish, that they're just way too harsh in the brows. This is definitely a bit more dry, and as you can see, really long lasting as well. So already now I can tell that I prefer this kind of texture of brow pencils compared to some of the other ones that I've tried in the past, because this one is way drier in texture, so it doesn't create those lines in the brows. It doesn't look that drawn on. Or at least I don't think so. Next up, we've got the brow liners, and these are intense brow definers. And I don't know if it's like a brow gel or whatever, but as you can see, there are 5 different colors in this range as well, and it also ranges from 10 to 50 depending on the color. So packaging looks like this, really cute, very little. As you can see, it's very small, so it's great for traveling, definitely. And the actual product, so it's actually a brow liner. Now I get it. So the pencil and the brush looks like this. As you can see, it is kind of like that liner look that you get with it. And this is definitely very pigmented. This is one of those products I'm very interested in because I've never tried using this before. It is definitely very pigmented and a bit more wet in texture, or very wet in texture. But oh my god, it dries down instantly. Look at that. So these are just long lasting as well, and they dry down so quickly, so you definitely have to work quick with these as well. And lastly, we've got 5 of the brow gels right here. These are called the Tinted Brow Groomers. And these are funny because there are also 5 in this range, but they're called 00, 15, 25, 35, and 45. I'm honestly not quite sure why they didn't keep it in the same like color thing with 10, 20, 30, and so on, but whatever. I guess the 00 is gonna be just clear maybe. Oh, I love the packaging. That is so cool. It's kind of like a squeezy tube. You hardly ever see that with brow gels. Yeah, as I said, I think this one is a clear brow gel, the 00 one, and then the other ones has got a tiny bit of color in them. So the brush looks like this, really fun. As you can see, it's very long up here, and then down there is shorter in the bristles. The actual brow gel seems to be very thick, which I love. And it doesn't seem to pick up too much on the brush, even though there's a tiny bit more down at the root of the brush. If you've got a lot of brows, I think that the side where there's some longer bristles is gonna be amazing to really groom them, whereas the one with the shorter ones is great for out here, or maybe for those of you who have got that much brown yourself. And brow gels like these you can use either alone, or you can use them on top of other brow products like your brow pencils or brow powders in order to set it all down, and also to make the product last for the entire day. That was the product that they sent me from their new brow product line, and now let's get you up close so you can see my brows a bit more, and let's start out with the brow pencil. So now we're up close and personal. As you can see, I haven't got anything in my brows, and I am luckily one of those people who've got a lot of brow in myself. So as you can see, they're really thick, very bushy right now, so I wanted them to be a bit more groomed and a bit more defined as well. So firstly, I'm just going to be using a spoolie. You can use whatever kind of spoolie you've got just to brush through the brow, so it's in the same direction. I do that because it's so much easier for you to find the shape of your brow in that way. And if you do have really unruly hairs, this is also a huge help for you. And now it's time for the eyebrow pencil. So it's already sharpened for me, thank God. So I'm just gonna try to fill in this brow over here with this one, and let's see how it goes. a spoolie as well, just to brush through the brow to see if there's any places that I need to be more precise. And I'm really not pushing hard at all. I'm really light in my strokes because I don't want to create any harsh lines. And then in here, I'm just going to be very light in my strokes. Just going upwards and then slightly out. I'm actually quite impressed with this brow product. First of all, I love the color. The color is 100% right for me, so that is nice. It was kind of like a qualified guess that I made when I took the 20, but that is definitely the right color for me. Many times when I've tried brow pencils before, they've been way too creamy in texture, which means that it's almost impossible to do a really nice natural brow look, if you get what I mean, because it's that creamy and way too streaky in the brow. But as you can see, this really, I mean, if you saw me like this, you would still think that it's somewhat natural. The only place where I had a teeny tiny bit of trouble with this one, getting my brow completely right, is actually with the tail, because it is a brow pencil. So it's not as sharp in the end as I've been used to with either like brow, like these twisty brow things that are very tiny, or with a brow gel where you're using a brush. In here, it was amazing. It gave off the right amount of product, so it isn't too streaky, as I said before, because of the drier texture. So I am actually really pleasantly surprised with this one. So now we're even further up close. As you can see, I've actually been able to do a quite tight and neat line. It feels as if it really settles down into the brow, so that is really nice. I feel like this is gonna last me the entire day even without any brow gel. So from zero to hero, this is amazing. I love it. I think it looks fuller and bushy, but still more precise and nice, and great color as well. Happy! Now here comes the fun part. Now we're gonna be trying out the brow liner. These are not something that I'm used to working with, so this is very new to me. So if it looks like shit afterwards, it doesn't necessarily have to be this product. It can also just be my skills of doing a brow liner thing that is just like crap. Obviously, I'm gonna try to do my best, but if it doesn't look as good as over here, it is because it is kind of like a new product for me as well, personally. As you can hear, you just have to shake it. There. And I'm just gonna fill in my brows as I normally would do with any other brow product. This is like so much fun. It actually feels like painting in your brows. I can't explain it. It is really weird. But I'm doing exactly the same thing with these very light strokes. You have to be very light-handed with this one because it is very pigmented and it gives off color instantly. So I think it's very easy to see that these are two very different textures and brow products. There's a huge difference in the finish of this one compared to this one. I think personally I prefer this one over here. The thing that I will say that is really nice about this one is actually doing the tail. You can be so much more precise with it because the nib on this brush is so fine and small and petite. So in that way, it is so easy for you to get that really like crisp and fine line out there. Other than that, I feel like this brow is a bit too wet for my liking. It is a very wet texture, and as you can see, because of that, it really gives off a lot of color at once, and you also have to be very careful not to brush too hard with the brush or the liner, because then it gets really streaky. But while sitting doing my brow with this one, I actually got to think that this is an amazing tool for those of you who haven't got that much brow on yourself. This is gonna be a huge help for you because you can really be precise with it. To me, when I've got that much brow, I just feel like that my brows, they just really soaked up all of the product, and it just made it so difficult for me to make it look as natural as possible. So it definitely looks drawn on, and not that I don't like that, I don't mind that, but compared to this one over here, I just really, I think this looks so much nicer and so much neater and just not as drawn on. So if you did ask me to pick between this one and this one, I would personally go for this one, but there's nothing wrong with this. And if you are, as I said, one of those who haven't got that much brow on yourself, I think this is easier for you to handle because it's a bit more pigmented from the very beginning, whereas I feel like this one really needs some brow to cling onto. And now for the last thing that I really want to try in the brow is the brow gel. And I'm actually going to be using two different brow gels. Over here, because it's already that freaking dark, I'm just going to be using the clear version. But over here, I'm going to be using the one called 15. It is the same kind of brush. You can just see that it does have some color in there. I love it. I love the texture of this one, and as you can see, it just really gave that little extra. It just set down everything. I love that it comes with these different lengths of brush hairs. So the longer one I used in here, and then the shorter ones I used out there. That is amazing. So smart, and just a very, very nice brush and very nice texture of the brow gel as well. I'm gonna be using the clear brow gel, the one called 00, over in this brow. So now the brow gel is over here, and I actually feel like that it did make a teeny tiny bit of a difference. It didn't really make a difference in the color, but I feel like that the product, the actual product, got distributed so much nicer in the brow now. It doesn't look as drawn on as before. So here are the brows from a distance. I don't really mind it if I do like this. It still looks really nice, but I still 100% prefer this side over here. That was me trying out the new brow line from Makeup Forever, and I must say, just an overall review of the products, I really like them. I'm actually really curious about hearing which brow you prefer. This side with a brow pencil or this side with a brow liner. I'm really interested because, once again, it is all about personal preference, and I don't hate any of the sides, but just personal preference, I prefer this. As I've said a million times now. But thank you so very much for watching, and thank you so much to Sweet Makeup Forever for sending me the new brow collection. This video is not sponsored, by the way. They just sent me the products, and I just decided to do this video because I really wanted to try them out and show you on camera. So this is my first impression and my review, and I can definitely recommend all of them. This one for everybody, no matter if you're pro or beginner, whatever. This one is great for beginners, and if you are a pro and want that more natural brow, this is amazing. And this one is definitely more for those of you who want a bit more of a fuller brow look if you haven't got that much brow on yourself, and also if you're a bit more advanced when it comes to makeup. That is all. Thank you so very much for watching. Remember, I love you all to the moon and back and everywhere else.